Guys, the week's over. The week is over. It's like, I said last week that I was only going to go for a long position. Who told me to go for a short position this week? But this is why I say I got to be transparent with you guys, because at the end of the day, I'm only human, innit? And taking that trade for a short, a little bit of me knew that I should have never done that short, but my setup shown. So if I see my setup, I'm gonna take it. Do you get what I'm saying? Regardless if it's a long position or short position. But I'm still proud of myself that it wasn't a goofy trade. I waited for the candlestick to close below the level that I was expecting it to close at, and then I went for a short position, but it didn't go my way. But let's dive into the chart quickly, guys, so I can show you a few things that I'm looking at and what I'm going to be looking at for next week, right? So I'm in a trade already, right? I'm in a trade already and I closed in the market, and I never used my stop loss actually. For this trade that I'm about to show you guys, I didn't use no SL because I'm certain that price will go to the direction I'm expecting it to go to. But I'm not saying just because I don't use no stop loss, I'll be expecting you guys not to use stop loss. Occasionally I'll use stop loss depending on, the chart or what I'm looking at. But if I'm 100% certain with my trade, I'm not gonna use no SL, guys. I'll keep it a buck with you. But let's get into the chart, guys. So Wednesday, this what happened on Wednesday, over here, I went for a short over here, but obviously it looks way more different in TradingView than Trading Locker, right? So I always use TradingView to analyze my chart, and then I make a trade through Trading Locker using 24K markets. But like I said, the trade didn't go my way. I was expecting price to come down below this level over here, where it can come to 3,308, but it didn't. Took my SL. So now I'm currently in this trade right now for a long position. I waited for price to get to this level over there. I waited for price to get above 3,402 before entering the trade for a long position, and I never used no SL, right? But I use a 5,000 micro lot size in this position right now. So currently right now, before the market closed, I'm up like £4.75. So that's $4.75 that I'm currently up by. I'm still in the same position from Thursday, last week Thursday, with a 2,000 micro lot size, which is £254 up so far. So like I'm not complaining, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't complaining. That's all right. So let's go to TradingView. So with TradingView, this is how it's looking in TradingView, right? So this position that I took, right, I waited for this candlestick on the 4 hours time frame to close right over here, yeah. But once I entered this trade, I saw the candlestick close above over here. So it was kind of clear to me that it was going to hit my SO. Yeah, but no biggie. That's why I always say, like, if you're going to go for a short position, make sure you try to slam the trade and trying to go for like the same position that you take for a long position in the trade. Because the reason why I went for like a micro 10,000 lot size is because it's a short position. I'm trying to slam the trade and get out the trade real quickly, but it didn't go my way, so it's fine. That was the first trade that I lost for that week, so I'm fine with it, guys. So right now, so obviously I went for this trade over here above the level of 3,398, should I say, right, when the candlestick closed, and that's when I went to the trading locker and then I placed my trade, right? But we'll see what's going to happen over the weekend, right? When the week opens on Sunday, when market opens on Sunday at 11 p.m. and that's UK time. So let me start to analyze the chart to show you guys everything I'm looking for right now. So when we're looking at it right now, you can see we have strong supports over here at this level over here, right? So if I want to mark this chart up over here, like how I marked it up with the TradingView, it's looking like this, where I have my FVG indicator, which would be this right over here. I've marked it over here. And I know we have strong sellers that's over here, that's of course pushing the price down. As you can see how sellers over here camping and pushing the price down. You can see it from over here as well, right? So when prices are coming over here, sellers have managed to push the price down. Even though we have an indicator of a high being made over here. So we have a BOS right over here. We have a BOS structure over here. And remember, guys, I said it doesn't matter how small the breaker structure is, it's still a BOS, right? And we have price has created their highest highs, which is at 3,428. So around that range area, that was the fourth attempt, you know, sellers has pushed the price down. So hopefully when we get to the fifth attempt, we can actually leave that area in it. We see how what next week shows us, right? So what I'm looking for right now is actually to see what my trade does for next week. So I'm kind of happy that I'm in that trade anyway, so I'm not really too fussed. Even though the market is closed, I'm not really too fussed about that. And sometimes, you know, when the market opens Sunday 11 a.m, you know, there can be a gap in the market where price can just be at a certain level all of a sudden, right? And that might happen as well. So that might be a good look for a lot of us if some of us are in this trade as well, right? So overall, like, we got to keep in mind as well that when price comes to this level, you know, we've already seen sellers, you know, that are there. When you look at the day time frame, you have sellers over here around the 3,400 mark, you know, they're ready to push the price down, right? So I don't know if sellers are going to be there ready to push the price down again. They're going to be strong enough to push the price down again in the fifth attempt with price, but we'll see, right? But looking at the structure of the market, you can still tell that it's bullish, right? If you look at it in the day time frame, you can tell that it's bullish. And if we do leave this area as well, that's why I'm kind of happy in the position I'm in. And that's why I'm not using no SL, because I'm going to take the risk to not use no SL. Because, you know, I don't want to be losing money just because I'm using SL. Because I know how to trade anyway and I know what I'm looking for. I feel like SLs should be for like new beginners that really need to understand what the market is all about and what price action is all about. Yes, use your SL. But then when you start mastering, you know, the way you trade, your strategy and whatnot, sometimes you don't have to use a SL if you want to make money. You know what I'm saying to you? So I only put money into my broker's account that I'm willing to lose, right? So that's why I would say to you guys as well, put money into your broker's account that you're willing to lose. And sometimes when you feel like the trade is gonna go the way that you expect it to go, remove the SL, man. Have a little mental stop loss where you can say, okay, cool, price comes down to the next range area, then I'm gonna have to start releasing some trades. So that's my plan. If price doesn't go the way I want it to go to, and price starts to do something like this, right, where price starts to come down back to this level, I'll feel no way to just release a little bit of lot size, like take probably like 2,000 micro lot size out of that position and see what price does. And if price continue to break these lows over here, then I'm gonna have to get off the trade. So that's how I'm gonna, you know, monitor my trade, right, when next week comes. But like I'm saying to you guys, look at it in a day time frame. You can see the structure of how everything looks like in a day time frame. We have this low over here, like this low over here, right here. When price came down here, this is the reason why I went for this buying position when I saw price come to this level at 3,269, right? So we know that we have a strong support over there and we have buyers over there that's pushing price up, right? But at the same time, we have a lot of sellers that's over here that's camping and pushing the price up as well. So hopefully when price does open, you know, we can have the opportunity to leave this area and still be in the trade, right? And try to compound the trade as time goes on. But really and truly, you know, that's pretty much it. This week, guys, yeah, like you guys already know, like you guys that's on my live, you guys already know what it is, you feel me? This week, it was a bit of a techie week. We didn't really get that much opportunity that we should have got, but like, you know, at the end of the day, you feel me? Trading is trading and, you know, you're gonna get at least one opportunity. And I have 3 people that was on my live that smashed it last week anyway. You guys know who you are, big up yourself. But yeah, man, this week has been a kind of like it hasn't been like, you know, it hasn't been really juicy like last week. But at the end of the day, you know, we move, guys, we move. So when next week come, you already know what it is. I'm gonna be live from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30, and that's for the new people that just subscribe to this channel. Big up yourself as well. You know, shout out to all you guys. Yourself as well. Shout out to all you guys that's joined the TheTradingLab. It's lovely to have you guys there as well. And shout out to all the people that's been pulling up to the live as well recently, consistently. Like, you know, it's all love as well. But when next week come, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. Yeah, when next week come, I'm not gonna say I have a buying mindset just because I took a short position this week and I lost. Just looking at the structure, if I see my setup in any type of like market structure or price action shows me something that I feel like it's worth doing, I'll do it again, no problem, I'll do it again. But in general, I'm looking at the charts and I'm just thinking to myself, you know what, it's looking crazy bullish, but we should wait and see what price action shows us on Monday. Because you know, guys, I don't trade on Monday, right? But I'm still in a trading position that I'm gonna let run, right? But I'm not gonna be taking no trades on Monday. You know, I'll always gonna stick on that. Monday, Friday, don't take no trades, right? But at the end of the day, we'll see what price action shows us and then we'll go from there. You feel what I'm saying? You get me? So no stress. I got grace in myself. So you guys make sure you have grace in yourself. I'm gonna catch you guys on Monday at 8 a.m. And yeah, man, stay blessed. You guys have a good weekend. And I'll see you then.